Benno's not hungover. 9:49 a.m. Certainly won't be released at 9:49, but we're here. It's in the morning. I just need to get rid of that noise. But yeah, we're here, lads, and back
Lasses,
bigger
not
than
lasses.
bigger than ever. I know exactly. Yeah.
Women are allowed to listen to the podcast too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just gonna get rid of this noise. Yeah, perfect. We're in. Right. Yeah. View from the Hazards, episode 29. Sorry about that technical difficulty, but no, back. And we've got a surprise for you next week, but we'll see what happens. No, it's a Friday, isn't it, Ben? Last day of work. Has your week been okay?
It is. Well, I would say like last day of work, but are you working at the moment? What's your deal?
I mean, I've just had a lot of beers this week. I've been home alone. I've had beers the last 3 nights.
So last day at work then for you. Friday must be a big day.
Yeah, mate. I'm not working certainly, but I've had a good week. We've quite spontaneous events. Obviously, some of you may have seen on my Instagram my Disby dozen, my 12 pints that I managed to get through on Wednesday. I know, a great achievement. But no, it's a tough life at the moment.
12 pints. I'm surprised it didn't take you 12 days, but well done, well done.
Thanks, mate. I've come a long way. I've come a long way since you got me like drunk that time.
Mate, what can I say? You've achieved something this week.
I have actually. I have, and I've got cricket tomorrow. And yeah, it's going to be a great week. I've trained twice, so that's okay.
There you go.
But no, what are you up to this weekend? You doing anything exciting?
I'm actually going back to Dorset.
My God! Wow.
Yeah, so I'm working on my own today, and then jump in the car at like 8 p.m. or something. Head down. Weekends with the family, and then back Sunday night. I mean, it's always a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to being back. I've not been back for ages.
Yeah, in it with lockdown and stuff.
Pre-COVID, so
exactly. Get your gatherings of more than 6 people in while you can.
It'll be less than 6 because I'll just do like multiple trips. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, when does that kick in?
Monday,
like
I think,
the next
the 14th.
Couple of days or something. Yeah, just in time for the football season.
Exactly. Yeah.
That doesn't. That's just at home, right? As in, like,
I think so. Yeah.
As in, you can go to the pub and like if there's 50 people in the pub, there's 50 people in the pub, but you just can't have gatherings with people indoors, right?
I think that's basically it. Yeah, you could probably go outside with everyone.
Pretty much just ignore all the stuff now until I get told I can do whatever I want again.
Yeah, Ben. Yeah, exactly. It's the way to go. But yeah, I mean, Readers is going all right. I think me and Daz are going quite hard. And I'm in Leamington next week, so I think I'll beat you.
Do you know what's amazing is like obviously because of just the way everything's like set up at the moment. You and Daz like are practicing because you've got National League and stuff. So like you kind of have to. Do you know what I mean? I'm literally I have no reason to be on court.
Me and Dad also like I think we just really enjoy it. Like it's so even and it's such a good sweat. And like honestly, we'll do the points and stuff. Like some of the most intense points I've ever done. Like it's brutal. It's brutal, Ben.
Is it?
Yeah, just like ultimate, just competitive. It's like playing a game of racquetball or something. Like just, I mean, we both know what we're gonna do. Yeah, it was awesome.
So you don't think about doing anything differently then?
No, we do like an hour of drills and then an hour of points.
That's good.
I think
Are you like sharing sets and stuff at the moment?
We were. Well, I won a few towards the beginning of training, but Daz has won the last few. I won one on Wednesday, but he didn't have a great racket.
I was going to say that I actually got a text from you a couple of days ago.
What did he say?
Well, just like, I don't suppose you've got any rackets.
Yeah, mate.
Mine are a bit wet.
I'm telling you, mate, Gold Leaf are struggling when it comes to sending rackets to England. Not many people have them, but yeah.
I think all rackets are struggling when they get wet.
Oh yeah, mate. Honestly, yeah. It's bad. Stella gave him like a Grays like white one. He was like, I can't use that, Stella, and I was like, Daz, it's a free racket, mate. Just take it.
Well, he's got some honour, isn't he? You know, he's got a contract and he's got some honour. Not like you.
Mate, I'll use
last 5 minutes with sponsorship.
I'll use anything.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why you wouldn't last 5 minutes with sponsorship. They'd be like, "What are you doing? Why are you using that off your pop?"
Yeah,
Pop that
exactly.
back, please.
Why have you got grey shorts and a gold leaf t-shirt? Sorry, mate, it's comfortable.
Anyway,
But yeah, no, we've got a good podcast for you here today, guys. That 5 minutes was incredibly random. But yeah,
yeah,
it's
sorry, I
gonna.
was actually like writing stuff down while I was doing that. So
Yes, to be fair, I was replying to a few group chats while I was doing that. So
okay, I was doing something important, but I can't actually. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what I've just spoken about for the last 5 minutes. Anyway,
don't
let's
worry.
crack
That's
on.
how we start. Today's gonna be a good one. We're gonna talk about World Championship tennis because we all love World Championships. I think it's one of those things where it gives me goosebumps. I'm so excited whenever the World Championships on, the eliminators, blah blah blah. Yeah, I love the World Championship. We've all watched it. We're going to talk about 2018, 2016. Which one?
We are going to basically review the 2018 World Championship,
Oh, naughty.
which I think will be insightful, and it will also test our memory. Certainly
Perfect.
test your memory, Mr. Statman. I was there, so obviously I've got.
I watched the third day. I didn't watch the first or the second.
Right.
But I've watched the replays and stuff. I just remember that second day, mate, when he won all four.
It did win all four.
But yeah, so for context, guys, obviously not all of you will know. Benno was Rob's training partner for the 2018 World Championship, and obviously, like, again for context, if you're not that aware, no one gave Rob a prayer really. I think a very unexpected result for a lot of observers, not everyone, but yeah, it's probably remembered that World Championship because everyone was like, "Well, Camden's not been beaten since 2013, blah blah blah." Like it could be 7-0, and yeah, that's why we're just talking about it because it's just so memorable.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. Well, it just was, wasn't it?
Oh,
It was great.
100%. I just remember I was at uni, right? And obviously you were texting through the score because the stream cost like 50 quid a day. And I was like, well, no, I'm not paying that. I wouldn't pay
Yeah.
it, wouldn't have paid it if it was a fiver. But like yeah, and we were just getting texted through the score. And I remember the first day was 3-1 Cam, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then obviously it was like he won a set, but then like I think the final set of that day was maybe 6-love.
Correct.
Yeah. And then the next day Rob's won all four, and it's like, well, weren't the first two sets really close on that day, like 6-5, 6-4 or something?
Yeah, exactly that.
Oh my god, I'm good,
Such a dweeb.
mate. No, I'm not a dweeb, mate. I've watched it on YouTube, like in lockdown. I had so much time. Yeah, because I remember like thinking, oh, 6-5, like Cam will win, and he didn't. So obviously, and then phase
So
one,
let's break down
yeah,
the score over the 3 days, and then we'll kind of delve into it a bit rather than just having a generic chat about it, right? So the first day
yeah,
was 3-1 to Cam, but Rob won the first set. So Rob won the first set 6-4,
yeah, he did, didn't he?
and then it was 6-3, 6-5, 6-love to Camden.
Yeah,
Second day was 4-love to Rob, 6-5, 6-4, 6-3, 6-1. And then the third day was 2 sets all, which got Rob to the magic 7, which was 6-5, 6-love to Cam, and then 6-3, 6-3 to Rob.
yeah.
Are you happy with those numbers?
Of course, I'm happy.
So, can you remember? Well, you've watched it recently. What
Yeah.
can you remember? Like what the pattern? Like, because the beauty about like a best of 13, right, is you get like a pattern. And I know that like Rob's been quoted when in like the World Championship package, he says like it's like a true test because there are no like lucky one day out. You don't turn up and just see it like a football for a day and get away with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both players have got time to figure it out. They go away after a day. They replan. They use their practice to try and kind of rejig things. And it's effectively, people come out on day 2 and it's like, right, does the person that was winning, let's say, do they keep doing the same thing? Has the other person like figured out how to try and combat it? And it's like it's the most tactical like exchange like ever. It's the best format. It is the best format. I know that I'm not going to like name names, but
It's like Test cricket, isn't it?
Well, somebody wants to see like the World Championship format get shortened, and I'm like, absolutely not. Like it is a true test of everything.
Yeah.
It's a true test of brain power, and I absolutely love it. I mean, I've never played a best of 13, but I love it. I think it's fantastic.
It's good. It's good to watch, isn't it? I mean, it's so different to like a best of 5. It really puts a best of 5 into perspective because Yeah, it's just that much longer, and it's basically three, four setters, isn't it?
Well, yeah. If you think about it, think about a best of 13 match, right? And then think about how ridiculous a best of 3 is.
Yeah.
Right, like a best of 3, you could just come out and go, I'm just going to absolutely swing today, and if it works, I'm going to win like 2-2 because I've only got to swing for it. I've only got to swing for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I've only got to be good for an hour. Like
Exactly.
best
Yeah.
of 13, you've got to be good for. I mean, 4 sets is going to take 3 hours. Let's say you've got to be good for 3 hours on day 1, 3 hours on day 2, and then potentially 4 hours on day 3.
Yeah. 5 sets on day 3.
Like, you've got to do it for 10 hours, and which is exactly why there is no lucky one day.
Yeah, like you deserve to win, don't you? You deserve to win
Oh
if you get to
yeah.
7.
The person who wins the world championship always deserves to win because you can't get lucky or have just an amazing time for 3 full days. It just
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
work like that. Camden was the much better player in 2016, and everybody would agree with that. And Rob was the better player in 2018. Like, you can't deny it. Like the numbers are. I've got the numbers in front of me. Like, they're all there.
Yeah.
So what can you remember? Like the styles of play and what was happening during it all? Because I kind of can.
We all sort of know how Rob went about that match. Like he was just teeing off from the hazard end, really. Yeah, hitting a lot of main balls.
So this might be a silly question.
Oh yeah.
Which day? Okay? So just to remind you, day 1. If we could put Rob's score first, okay? Day 1, sets 1-3.
Yeah.
Day 2, 4 love. Day 3, 2 all.
Yeah.
Okay. Which day did he hit the most dead-ons in?
Second day.
No.
Third day.
No.
First day.
How ridiculous is that, right? So he hit the most.
He lost. He lost 3 sets.
He lost 3-1 and hit the most dead-ons.
That's mental, mate.
Exactly. So just so you can look at like the way it kind of ebbed and flowed and stuff. Camden got, in fact, all three of them, both of them got progressively lower in their number of dead-ons hit.
Really? That's good stats.
Yeah. So Camden went 14, 11, 8.
Yeah.
So he hit the most dead-ons in the day where he won the most sets. He hit the second most dead-ons when he won no sets. And then he hit 8 dead-ons when they won 2 and 2. But that's not his, the numbers I'm about to give you now for Rob look alarmingly high compared, but it's a different style of play. Yeah. Rob hit 22 in day 1, 21 in day 2, and 20 in day 3. So
mate,
consistent.
He's hit so many.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Right? And the funny thing is, I remember on day 3, because it was obviously, you're at the business end of it all now, and Rob was missing more dead-ons.
Yeah.
And I remember Claire turning around to me and just saying oh my God, what's going on, Ben? Why can't he hit
Ben, make him hit one.
Why can't he hit it? And I was just like, no, Claire. What you've got to remember is for the last 2 days, he's hit a superhuman percentage of dead-ons that he's gone for.
Yeah.
And all he's doing today is forcing like a human being.
Yeah.
So he still hit 20. It just took him more efforts to get those 20, and he was more clinical in the first 2 days, should we say?
It's a good way of thinking about it. He's forcing like a human. There are some days though where you just can't miss the dead on. It's like, oh my God, Darren has one every day.
So here's an interesting one. Exactly. Grills.
Right.
Camden, 5, 14, 13. So hit the most number of grills on the day when he won no sets.
Wow.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Rob, 3, 15, 9.
Well, yeah, he did well on the second day. I think 15 grills is an awful lot.
So what that tells you is on day 1, there were really no grills being hit.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the reasons, so you can't turn around and say that the 3-1 result to Camden was based on Rob's targets being down because he hit the most number of dead-ons than he did in any day. So he's hitting plenty of those. Cam also hit the most amount of dead-ons in that day, which would certainly contribute to the score.
Yeah.
But the big number for me is 3 grills for Rob in day one.
He only hit
That's
3.
That's 3 grills in 4 sets. So for someone of like Rob's target hitting ability,
Yeah, it's not
that's a
great.
very low number.
I think, yeah, I remember, and I never know stats, and I don't watch it on me, but I remember I played Douglas in the Open, and I lost 3-0, but I hit like 13 grills, and
Yep.
and so obviously that's compared to those numbers, and Rob's done that in 4 sets, and I was like, oh my god, like that's a lot.
Yeah. So what that tells me is like from the hazard end, Rob's doing absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. He's hitting plenty of dead-ons, and when he's at the service ending that day, Cam's hitting more dead-ons, but also Rob's hitting a very low number of grills for what he would expect.
Yeah.
So what is happening there is like Rob was like struggling to serve tight enough to Cam, and Cam was able to be a bit more, was to be the aggressor a bit more. It's exactly what we were saying last week about hazard end and service end, right?
Yeah.
Cam was able to get that first shot off against Rob, and kind of get him on the back foot, and not really give him many opportunities to have a crack at that grill, which he's so good at hitting.
Yeah.
And I remember it a lot. So Queens, how like whatever you serve, the ball seems to get to the back wall, right?
Oh mate, tell me about it.
So that would explain Rob's high dead-on count, because Cam could not, regardless of what he served, he could not stop the ball getting to the back wall, right? And actually, his best serving day was day one, because he was serving demi PKs and he was getting it like to just miss the roof. And honestly, it was a demi PK masterclass.
Wow, why didn't you carry on serving it?
Well, the thing is, it is quite high risk. If you don't get it right, it is a bit of a dolly. And what you've got to remember, which is something that people may not take into account, like so let's say there's 10 hours of play. The balls on day 3 are completely different to what they are on day 1.
That's so true.
Completely different.
World Championship balls are, yeah.
So that's another thing you got to take into consideration as the match wears on. The balls are changing, certain things aren't working. So, for example, day 1, Rob chucked a few railroads in, didn't do anything. Cam's able to be quite aggressive with his return, hit some dead-ons, get Rob on the back foot, etc., etc. Day 2, Rob basically after a set served railroads exclusively.
Yeah.
Because it's doing a bit more. So Cam was serving very good demi PKs to Rob. Rob's still hitting a lot of targets and stuff, obviously, within the rallies. But I really remember, because I remember the practice day in between day 1 and day 2, and Rob and I went on court, and he just said, I'm just getting killed by that boast into my backhand corner, just because the walls at Queens are quite quick, and the way that the balls were playing on day 1, it just made it so quick. That it was getting past him quite a lot. So if you imagine someone's hitting good boast into your backhand corner on a lot of return to serve. How are you ever going to get yourself into a position in the rally where you can start having a crack at the grill?
Well, you just got to get over there. I don't know. You got to serve better or anticipate it. I don't know.
What? I mean, if you can't control what the person's doing on return to serve, though. If Cam's turning inside and hitting boast into Rob's backhand corner, that's happening. Right?
Yeah. You can't stop that.
So if you're Rob, you either park yourself in the backhand corner, in which case Cam just pushes anything into your forehand.
Yeah.
So you can't park yourself. You've got to cover all options. And then, the balls were travelling through the air quick on day 1, so Rob's able to get that first ball back quite a lot. But then it's defensive, and then Cam's attacking again. And do you know what I mean? It was very difficult for Rob to kind of wrestle control of those rallies from the service end and give himself opportunities to hit the grill. And that's why I think that number was so low for him.
Yeah.
And in fact, it wasn't really a grill hitting match that day 1.
No.
8 grills total in 4 sets.
It's not. It's hardly anything, is it? It's nothing.
It's low.
Lots of straight tambers winning.
Yeah, again, take the court into account and stuff like that. So just very quickly, there's 2 big things, the points. So on day 1, Cam won 125, Rob won 106.
Yeah.
So that's 19 points difference. That's 5 games, pretty much, give or take. right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not they're not just like 5 games, because they could have happened at any point. But
Yeah.
Cam's winning more points, and Rob's not hitting many grills. That's a big one. By the way, winning galleries, day 1 for Cam.
Have you gone? Have you gone on the app for this? You haven't literally just counted it by watching.
I've scribbled it down. Oh no, I'm watching it right now and chalking it up.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Winning galleries for Cam 4-1-1. Rob was 6-7-8.
Including the match point.
Oh, that would have been number 8, yeah.
Number 8.
But I like the symmetry. He probably would have known he was on 6 on day 1, 7 on day 2, and 7 on day 3 match point. He's probably like, oh, come on.
Come on, I've got to get a winning gallery here.
Got to get a winning gallery here.
Yeah.
So as you would expect, Cam 23 targets on day 1 versus 31 for Rob.
Yeah.
Day 2, 26 for Cam. And this is absolutely berserk. 43 for Rob. That's big.
43, wow.
Yeah. And 22 targets on day 3 for Cam, 37 for Rob. So you knew that was going to be the case, right? Camden would have walked into that match going, Rob's going to hit more targets than me.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is just try and grind him down and make him rally as much as possible and just try and kill him, basically. Physically break him.
Yeah, he probably wasn't far away from doing that.
That would have been the strategy. Camden won more points on day 1, less points on day 2, more points on day 3. And the big thing really is that Rob did not serve more than Cam at any point on any 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, because you think like Cam would be serving to Rob, like just dominating the service end, but I mean, obviously.
No, that's what I mean. Sorry, Cam served more than Rob on all 3 days.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Cam did. Yeah, that makes sense.
So day 1, this is unbelievable. First time I've seen this number. Cam served for 141 points. Rob only served for 90. So 51 points more.
That's insane. But how many of those is he winning? Like.
Well, I mean, Rob's hitting dead-ons, but like only 8 more than Cam. So.
Yeah.
You know, on day 2, for example, Cam served for 6 more points than he did on day 1, but Rob served for 25 more points.
Mate.
Than he did on day 1.
The stats today, we're getting all the stats.
Starts to make a big difference. So I remember going into it on after day 1 practice. After day 1, the practice, and we were kind of talking about the boasts getting in behind him and stuff like that, and ways to try and counter it. And
yeah,
potentially, we messed around with a couple of like different serves and stuff to try and counter it, or not necessarily counter it, but like push him into doing it even more, but to just make it more obvious.
Yeah.
More readable and stuff like that. And then what was actually quite funny is because obviously like I had a debrief with Rob like after every day and stuff. I remember him saying to me before day 1, after our last practice, he was like, "Right, well there we go then. That's that. Let's hope I can get on the board." And I said, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
He said, "What, you just want to get a set?" And he's like, "Well, I haven't taken a set for 3 years or something." And I was like, "Come on, mate. All you've got to do is put it together for 20 minutes.
Rob, you're so good, man. Yeah.
You can win a set."
Yeah.
And then I remember they were changing ends like at the beginning of the second set of the whole match, and Rob had won the first set.
Yeah.
And I said to him, and I was like, "Well, there you go, mate. You've done what you came. Like you've exceeded your expectation already. So just like relax and fucking have a go at it." Like I'm obviously that advice saw him through.
Yeah.
Not.
Well done, Ben.
But, it must be amazing like when your expectations are there. But that's why like he's such a maverick. Like in between day 1 and day 2, we did all this practice like with different like I think we chucked a couple of caterpillars in or something.
the Vagona caterpillar.
So that was the idea. He came out, served a couple of caterpillars first few games. They got absolutely crushed past him, and then he served railroads for 4 sets. And I specifically remember him coming off afterwards and just going like, "Well, plan A went out the window after literally 10 minutes."
Yeah, yeah.
That's and just right. I'll just revert to the old faithful.
The old faithful, yeah, what I've always done.
And do you know what? The railroad was working that day. So suddenly the rally, Rob's first ball coming back is not that horrible ball he's got to dig out of the backhand corner. The balls are a bit different, so it's taking Railroad a bit more.
What I remember about his Railroad at Queen's, right, because obviously, as you say, it's hard to stop it going to the back wall, and for that matter, hard to stop it going high on the back wall. He seemed to serve it like really flat, like really sort of narrow bounces, if you see what I mean. Like
Yeah,
his
just thumps it.
yeah, like his match
Just
point,
like it's gonna go hard.
his match point Railroad is so like so close to the edge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah, that's he was serving it well. I was like, fuck, good serving.
So because of the nature of the rallies change,
Yeah.
because you've got Railroads coming down and not I don't actually know what Rob was serving on day one, but or I can't remember anyway. The nature of that return of serve changes, makes a big difference. Rob goes from 3 grills to 15
Yeah. Wow.
in one day.
Stats, people, they add up. They add up.
In one day, because he's getting that, he's having a look at that first ball a bit more, and he's going to be able to create more opportunities. Can you remember towards the end of the third set on day 2, Cam rolled his ankle?
Of course, yeah. He falls over.
Fell over, and I remember kind of, I think, I could be wrong, and obviously that's the beauty about this podcast. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and we're just airing ours. That's really different.
Yeah.
So I could be completely wrong, but I thought that Cam looked like he was a bit shaken by that mentally. He looked a bit lost for a couple of games, and you could see him kind of thinking like,
yeah, Rob plays better after that because like the final set.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I remember he was kind of moving around a bit gingerly, and I was thinking like, I don't know what the rules are, and I don't know if he knew what the rules were, but I was like, just retire from the day, which I've since found out you are allowed to do. You're allowed to retire from the day, but not the whole match. I was like, there's no point in getting yourself around the court badly for him. He is someone that relies on his movement massively.
Because he was good on the third day, like he was fit on the third day, you could tell.
Yeah, and you know what? He got away with it. And because I was thinking to myself, get off court and give yourself as much recovery time as you can. The last thing you want to do...
The last thing you want to do is be like, oh, I've played like a shit set and I'm low on confidence.
Well, play an extra set, which means it's 40 minutes, A, less recovery time than you'd get if you stopped after the third set. But B, it's 40 minutes of pushing your ankle through movements it might not be enjoying.
Yeah.
So you could end up doing worse.
No, true.
But anyway, I don't want to say like that explains the set score at the end of day 2. But it was pretty obvious very early on in that fourth set that all Rob had to do was maintain his concentration, and he was going to wrap up.
Yeah.
The most amazing day of World Championship tennis I've ever seen in my life.
So your message in the WhatsApp, right, in the group, when Rob Fay is leading the World Championship after he won the third on that day, and like, cause he was like, "What's the score, mate? What's the score?" And it's like Rob Fay is leading the World Championship. That was what you put.
That was it.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh my god!" And then it's like 4-0 to Fay, and we were all like, "What the hell is going on?" Because obviously no one's watching. We're just like, "How is this happening?" Ben, are you watching the same game?
Yeah, I was watching the West Court.
Yeah, exactly. Good match on there.
And then like day 3, I remember it very well. In between, and do you know what? Like this for me just summed up like what somebody in sport does that's like a complete champion. It's not like I'm not kissing Rob's ass. I just mean like you see all of these people, you hear people like in individual sports, they win something and then they could easily like rest on that and go, I've done it, or they could go, right, I need to make sure I get better because I want to stay there, right? And people are going to be coming after me.
Yeah.
At the end of day 2, where Rob served railroads and played exactly the type of day he wanted to play, aggressive, powerful, etc., we walked on court the next day in between day 2 and day 3, and Rob walked on and just goes, I reckon these balls are good enough to serve high now. And I was just like, what? You've just literally crushed a guy for love, having served railroads, and you're just going to completely like abandon that strategy for day 3. Like, it's unbelievable.
Did he actually? And did he serve high on that day?
Served high on day 3.
Was that high serves from the middle?
High serves from the middle. You would have to argue the case that like if it was a run around off between the two of them, Cam's going to win, right?
Yeah.
If it's like who can run around the court for the longest, Cam's going to outlast Rob. I'm not saying Rob is unfit at all. I'm just saying that like Cam would do that. So the other beauty about like a high serve is it breaks up the play a bit more. And I remember day 3 being very like start, but it was very kind of fragmented. Like it didn't flow as much as the other two because Rob's, he's breaking the play up a bit more.
Yeah.
There's a high serve, the ball takes longer to get, to be in play, and it takes longer to get the ball and get up there. And you could see Cam getting like a bit irked by it, like kind of hurry up.
Yeah.
Rob's deliberately kind of slowing it down a bit. And I remember about day 4 is the first set being so tight. It was so tight, and you just knew, or I just knew, that Rob was literally throwing everything in that set. Like literally, he was throwing.
Is this the final one? The final one of the third, yeah. The first set of the third day.
The first set of the third day,
yeah.
Yeah. So hang on, he's what 1-3 down.
Because I'm pretty sure the next one was a bagel, wasn't it? Because
he won 4-3, right? Sorry, he won. He was 5-3 up.
Yeah.
He was 5-3 up going into day 3. So he has just gone all in on set 1.
Yeah, obviously.
He's like, if I can go 6-3 up, I can basically just rest for 2 sets if I need to, and then like give it all for another 1 or 2 at the end.
Yeah.
Right. He went all in on set 1 and lost it 6-5.
Yeah, he did. After that, I was like, oh my god, because the next one's going to be 6-love. So I was like, oh, this is it.
Well, I was thinking like, shit, that was like obviously being a Rob Face supporter at that point because I'm in his camp. I was like, could that spell trouble? Like he's really, I wouldn't say emptied the tank. That's not fair, but like he's really gone all in on that set, and he hasn't got it. Second, and the set after that, 6-love Cam, like. I knew that it was going to be Cam's set pretty comfortably, and you could just see Rob using it as like as a battery recharge set.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you're just like, right, it's literally all or nothing from here.
Yeah.
It is all or nothing. Like
Matthews, you're so dramatic.
Well, that's exactly what it was, right? Cam's going to run around and do his thing. Rob's obviously going to have to pick and choose when to like really go and when to like pull back a bit. He really went at the start of that 4th set, didn't win that set. Sorry, the start of the 3rd day, didn't win that 1st set, so had no choice but to just like recharge the batteries and go. My only strategy from here, because what was the set score have been at that point? 4-5. So Cam was 5-3. Sorry, Rob was 5-3.
Yeah, and then it was 5-all, wasn't it?
So Rob wins that. Rob tries to win that 1st set to go 6-3 up, doesn't get it. So Cam is 4-5. Rob's only strategy from there is I just have to let him win this next set and use it to like get my energy back. I have to let him get to 5. Or my best bet is to let him level the match and then try again.
Yeah.
Like what a bold strategy. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, when it was 5-all, I never thought he was going to win. I was like, that's it. But then he obviously won. He went 6-5 up, and then the final set, he seemed to play really well.
It was 6-3, 6-3.
Yeah,
the last 2.
Easy.
And again, he won less points on that day, but only 7 points less. The serving was much more even. 120 points served for Cam, 111 for Rob. That was the most even day by a country mile on who spent, the like distribution of which end they were at.
Yeah.
And Cam went big on the grill on day 3.
Yeah.
Rob kind of did his thing, didn't quite hit the heights of day 2, but Rob hit a lot of winning galleries.
So obviously,
the big thing for Cam, if he looks back at those stats, will be he only hit 1 winning gallery on day 2 and 1 on day 3.
Just smashing Hazard's second post.
Well, it might not have been his strategy. He might have been deliberately kind of trying to work the corner to push Rob hard. He might have just been ignoring that corner altogether.
As we say, like when it's winning gallery, it's fairly all in. So like, why would you give Rob a potential forehand? Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
particularly when in that occasion, like if because of the balls being used for the World Championship on that court, if you miss winning gallery and like you're giving Rob a forehand, it's probably popping up around the corner and then Rob's going to lever it.
Yeah.
You know, you're kind of thinking, I've got an opportunity to hit the winning gallery here, but if I miss, I could see the ball fly past me into the dead on.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty scary, isn't it?
Well, not necessarily scary, but yeah, not great.
But pretty demoralising.
I know. Yeah. I was so on that day. I was at Leamington for the club championships. So you weren't there. You were like at Queens, and the video of me filming the match point is unreal. Like it's
Yeah,
because
right.
everyone's obviously in the main room watching, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna do it. Good serve. Oh, it's in. And then everyone just goes mental. Like like you can hear what I'm saying, and everyone just goes bananas when he wins. Oh my god, like it was unreal, absolutely unreal.
You all know this. How did he win it? I know it was a backhand.
So basically,
winning
it's
gallery. It was backhand volley. But it was the ball coming across him, wasn't it? He defending a chase or something.
mate, it's like Chase second gallery, or it might even have been Hazard second. It's like Chase. No, I think it's Chase second gallery, right? So it's a good railroad. Cam basically, what does he do? He hits like a narrow boast off the service wall. Rob hits like a backhand volley. It goes like middle of the court. Cam then boasts it off the main wall.
And it comes across Rob.
And it comes across him, and then he hits like the backhand volley.
Yeah.
And it's just unreal. It's unreal. Like what a shot. But yeah. But yeah, that was the match point. Benno, that's 36 minutes. So, I mean, we've talked about the World Championship, haven't we? Some good memories.
Sorry, I just waffled on about that, but I had the numbers in front of me, so I just went for it.
That's quite cool though. Like good stats. People want to hear those stats. And I hope this inspired a few of you guys to just whack it on YouTube. To be fair, I mean, we're on YouTube. Could just be the next video you watch.
Well, it does go to show that in like a best of 13 format again, like if you look at it as 3 separate matches, you can lose the first set 3-1. They've got to get to 7.
Yeah, mate. Get to 7. Imagine someone like winning a world championship from 6-love down.
Well, wouldn't that be?
I think it could happen.
Incredible. Wouldn't that be demoralising for
Mate,
someone?
I'd love it. Imagine it'd be the best comeback ever.
Oh, wonderful. Well, mate, might be you.
I don't know. To be fair, who knows? I'm getting better at the game.
Who on earth's going to be 6-love up against you?
No one. Markov's at Newmarket, maybe.
Well, definitely don't. If there's a world championship at Newmarket, just pull out. Save yourself the embarrassment.
Yeah, guys, I don't want to play.
Right,
I'm well,
not interested.
That moves us nicely on to the next court. So we talked about Newmarket last time, didn't we?
Correct.
So we're going to talk about Prested.
Let's do it.
Prested Hall, Racket Club, and now paddle, and swimming pool and stuff. I love Prested, mate. I'm just going to open with that one. I absolutely love Prested so much.
Which court?
No, not even the tennis court, just the club.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. Well, I mean, it's got everything you need, isn't it?
Mate, it's got a sauna. It's got like
swimming pool,
reelers,
sauna, gym, like cafe area. It's a TV room. Like
the TV's mint as well.
Facilities.
Yeah, it's so good. It's an awesome place, and I don't think the court's too bad either.
Which one?
The main one, the glass.
Yeah, I think it's just called Glass, and I think it's down on RTO as Prested Far.
Yeah, Prested Far, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be like Prested Prested Normal.
Do you know what? So obviously, when we do these like things, we always talk about like both courts because that's what you've got to do. The majority of the tennis that you would have played at Prested would be on the main court.
Oh, I don't know. I've played plenty of Herbert Cups on the other one.
Well, let's just very quickly delve into Prested Far because that is one of the funniest courts I've ever played on in my life.
Yeah, it's a bit dodgy, isn't it?
It just doesn't even feel like it's real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just seems hollow.
It's stupidly bouncy.
Oh, stupidly bouncy,
like,
stupidly.
Stupidly bouncy. The galleries and stuff, like there's a net, but then you're basically immediately blocked in by wood. So it's like you literally feel like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's got the biggest nick ever, everywhere.
Like, yeah, it does.
If it hits the back wall first, it's dead.
Yeah, like underneath the grill, like you just need to hit that wall.
Yeah, and it is absolutely gone.
Yeah.
But do you know what? For just if you ever want to just go on court and just have a laugh and just not care about the score or the quality of the tennis or anything like that, Prested Far is the best court in the world for that.
Yeah.
Because you just find you're just laughing the whole time. You're like, this is just so wacky.
Yeah.
And this isn't like saying it's a bad court at all. It's a great training court because unless you hit the nick, like you can get anything.
Yeah, you
so
actually can.
You can just run around all day on there.
I don't think anything cuts down on there.
No, so as a training court, it's great and it's just funny. I just loved hitting balls on that court because you just laugh. It's like, this is just hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's
the
not the main
court,
one.
as it were, Prested glass.
Yeah, for those of you who've not been there, glass back wall where the grill is, so you can like look in. The chase lines are different, so they're like block colours, which is cool. Again, that's good. And yeah.
Well, they basically don't really have chase
No.
lines. So chase 3 is not a strip of paint that's a few inches wide or whatever. It's literally where the two colours of the floor meet. So chase 3 is, 1 millimetre wide or whatever.
Which is fair enough, because in reality, how many times does the ball actually hit a line? Like,
do you know what? It gets so much stick. Nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah,
it's much more similar to the French system where each chase is a foot and therefore each chase is the same size. The one good thing, like something that people criticise at press is, because you said it different. Bore off. God, it's not 1970 anymore.
Yeah.
Let's just get courts in. If they want to paint stripes on the floor, but there's 2 more courts in the world, bring it on.
Yeah, there we go.
It's absolutely pointless.
The glass
moan because of tradition.
Yeah.
My God, the game could do without you. Go away.
100%. Go away. The glass.
Like everything blue, all the blue stripes are better than all the green stripes are worse than.
Easy. Explain that.
So easy to mark on. So easy for members to get out there and like know where the ball's bouncing because the chases are bigger.
Yeah.
But they're all still relevant. Yeah. The glass back wall obviously plays a bit differently to the walls.
It's a bit. It's when you hit it.
It takes some like adapting to, and now underneath the grill, it's I don't want to say concrete. I don't know what it is, but
it's thing, isn't it? It's just a thing.
It's a hard surface.
Again, that's a big nick there.
So to bounce off the glass, you can basically get 3 different bounces off that back wall. You've got the glass, which is going to be a bit dead. You've got the block underneath the grill, which is going to be a bit more lively, and then you've got basically where like the joints of the glass are, which are very spriggy.
Yeah. So
you've got 3 different bounces. You can get a bit frustrated out there. You can get a few what you consider to be dodgy bounces and stuff, but ultimately it's a really good test of your reading capabilities.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you can get a lot back on Prested glass.
Very narrow timbre.
Yeah, it hardly ever hits. There's hardly any main wall timbres. Hardly any.
Very narrow timbre. And do you know what's actually interesting about Prested is that you could hit too many. You could hit the timbre and hit a hazard chase on the floor too easily. So what they did, this was before my World Championship match there. There were like 3 things that they had to do to make it like for the World Championship board, if you like, to come in and tick it off and say, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
They had to paint an extra yard of stroke area.
Really?
So the funny thing is, when you're at Prested, if you stand at the hazard area, and you would automatically align yourself with the timbre, right? You would stand. You don't turn around and look at the wall to find out where you are.
Yeah.
You just position yourself relative to the timbre that you would do everywhere else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
So you
no.
just you gravitate to an area and use the timbre as a reference point.
Yeah.
At Prested, you're further up the court than you would be elsewhere. So, have you ever had the feeling at Prested where someone hits the ball and you're at the hazard and you think, right, I'll leave this to the back wall, and you turn around and you're like, oh my God, the back wall is miles.
Yes. It always gets behind you. It always gets behind you.
How on earth am I this far up the court?
Yeah.
You end up dragging yourself further up the court because the stroke area is longer.
Paradoxically, you want to stay deep there because it doesn't come out miles off the glass.
Yeah, and because the stroke area is that bit bigger, if you do stay right at the back, you look like you've got so much ground to cover in front of you. So I reckon, for me, Prested glass is the toughest hazard end
I like
to play in.
I like that, Ben.
In the world, like it's a great challenge, and you run your absolute knackers off,
mate. Yeah, 100%.
But you've got to cover some serious serious mileage to get around that hazard end. Like, it is tough because the floor isn't that lively, so the ball stays quite low along the floor. So you've got like a big zone to defend, and also like the ball's not getting up off the floor that much. So you've got to work so hard at it. I mean, Ricardo Smith and I years ago used to do like rally baskets on that court, and we'd be absolutely knackered after 4, 2 from each end, and we'd be absolutely dead. And like having practiced there with Rob a bit when he was there, like you just get killed, absolutely murdered by him there.
Yeah, what, Ricardo?
Rob.
Oh, Rob, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously, where would you rank it? Sorry, this podcast has been exclusively me talking.
I don't mind, mate. I mean, that's okay. It's not like we prepare. It's just podcast.
Did you ever play like under 20s or anything there?
So you're about to say, where do I rank it? I rank it highly because
I was going to, but that's normally
and it links into what you're about to say because I won the under 20s twice, and because I just played really well there, like really well. There's always one get I remember I did, and I don't think you could have done it on any other court because you know the glass back wall, like when the ball hits it, it doesn't like go immediately down. It just sort of like hovers.
Yep.
So there was a ball which like somehow came round the walls, and it was like it's nearly dead, and I just remember just picking it basically off the back wall. And I got it back when I was off like 15, I'm a bit younger, and I was just like, wow, like you can't do that on any other court. And so basically for that reason, I just really like it.
For that one get.
I just remember it. Yeah, it was a key game, and I was like, wow.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I played well there.
It can have such a big effect moving forwards.
Yeah, I've just always got good memories of it. I remember like there was one point as well in that match, and it was like 30 level or something. I was 5-3 up in the second, and there was a ball in the penthouse, and I remember I hit it in the grill, in that net grill, and just thought, wow, love this place.
Love this place.
Yeah, it hit the net. It's so refreshing. And yeah, I was just like, yeah, I'd rank it highly because of that. I play well there. Claire's always like, oh yeah, get me at Prested, like I'm a different player. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I play well there as well. Like.
Yeah, but you know what? Like you do get that. Like Prested players are untouchable there. But like if you bring them away, they're much more. Like,
I still think like it wouldn't affect me that much. Like I'd play well there.
Well, yeah, but if we're talking about like the average club member, the average club member would turn around and go, "Oh God, no, I don't like Prested." No. It's because they always play badly there.
My dad,
the Prested members know exactly what to do.
Yeah, serving wise,
they play the court well and they win.
Yeah, like, they'll serve better. They'll serve well there.
But yeah, they just bang in that return and it's tough. It's because of the way it's set up with the stripy floor and the glass back wall and stuff. If you've never played there before and you turn up to play a match, like you're losing. that first time.
You're losing.
It is such a good home court to have.
Yeah.
Such a good home court. I mean, like for me, like it was like the scene of like my proudest achievement in real tennis ever. So it's always going to be well up my list.
What, winning the Browning Cup?
But didn't even win it, mate. It's got to the final.
Yeah. What would that be? So it's either the Pro Doubles or Bryn?
No, that would be 2012 World Championship Eliminator.
So Bryn, yeah, Bryn.
Yeah, match against Bryn, like sold the place out. Had like family came up from Dorset to watch, and I happened to win the match as well. It was just the best day of real tennis, best day of my real tennis career.
It was only 8 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, blimey.
How time flies.
You can't again, and the test for this is always if you had to play a world championship match, would you be happy there?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Every time I walk onto that court, that glass court, I always I just have fond memories of being out there.
I'd be the same. I think I'd play well there. I think it'd be in my top 10, not top 6. So top third.
Yeah, it's going to be top third for me. And do you know what's amazing is I wonder how many people, because it does get a bad rep. I wonder how many people, if you asked every person who's ever played there who was not Prested, and not a Prested member, I bet over 50% would say bottom third.
No, it's wrong. It's not that hard to play there.
But you always hear people like, oh no, I don't like it down there, and it's just like, why? And if you actually delve into it, the reasons they give you are just pretty poor.
Well, yeah, there's another reason, yeah. Like, Nah, I'd be happy in conclusion. I think we both would. Yeah, I'd work it out as well. I'd like one practice session. I reckon I'd play well there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I would require a practice session, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not. You know, as an away court, it
Yeah.
is tough. It's a tougher place, and yeah, I've played there. I've put hours and hours and hours of working on that court. But if I went and played there tomorrow, like it would take some figuring out.
Yeah.
Big time, mate. This is exciting. This next bit.
What's exciting?
Name some good players that have come out.
Oh yes, perfect. And bear in mind, it's only been in operation since like 2001, 2000.
I think it was like 99 or
99,
2000.
99, you're right. Right, okay, good players. I propose a game of, this is classic, like, drink what you think. Players from Prested. Ricardo Smith.
Claire Fay, world champion, best female player ever.
Yeah, that's good. Sarah Vigrass. Sarah Shuckborough.
Bastard.
What's her name? Come on, Benno, drink what you think.
Adrian Kemp.
Oh, yeah, good player as well. Phil Shannon.
I thought you said good player.
I know, I just thought I'd make you nibble. Right, who else? Who's coming from Prested? Lewis Williams.
Lewis Williams. Oh, God. We are running a bit low now.
There's just no good players from Prested, that's it.
But the thing is, right?
No, there are.
I always use this reference when I refer to Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea will win the league 2 years in a row, and then they'll finish 5th or 6th for a couple of years, right? And people go, oh, God, they're not qualified for the Champions League or whatever. And be like, you would take the odd rough year to get a trophy the year after, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Rather than being Arsenal and finishing 4th all the time and winning nothing, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that Prested haven't got a massive long list of people that they've brought into the game.
Well, it's not been open long enough.
Well, they brought in Ricardo, who was a top 10 player in the world, and got to was one set away from winning a world doubles championship. They brought the greatest female in the game ever, and the most dominant, and she will be the most dominant player in the ladies' game ever. Yeah. They've got the ladies' world number 2.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not about. Don't get me wrong. You've got 2 ways to think about people bringing people into the game. You've got quality and quantity.
One of the best blokes ever, Adrian Kemp.
Exactly. So they've produced quality. There
we go. Yeah, they have produced quality. I agree.
And they've not exactly produced just like one person either. You know, they've got a pretty good list of quality there.
Well, yeah, Claire obviously is mega. Ricardo's mega.
Claire, Sarah, Ricardo,
yeah.
You know, can you give me another club that's done that?
No.
In the recent modern era.
No, not really. That's a good group. They've produced a lot of professionals as well, which is great for the game.
Exactly.
No, Prested Hall, and then I don't know where we're going next after Prested. To be fair, we're going to
London.
Well,
we're almost into London, aren't we? So I guess we're going to have to hit Hatfield up.
Oh, perfect.
And then we'll nip into London. And
Hatfield.
We'll do the London clubs, and then we'll have to go back and review and see which ones we've missed.
Mate, Hatfield. I'm keen for Hatfield next time. Anything could happen there.
Yeah, me
too. Pink roof, but we'll save that for next time.
Exactly.
No, nice. Well, I hope it's not raining in Leamington. I hope you have a good day. I'm still home alone, to be fair. I've got some admin to do. I've got to water the plants.
Wow. Yeah. That's a tough day.
And I've got, it's last cricket match of the season tomorrow as well.
Is it?
And I'm trying to become leading wicket taker. This is slightly off topic, but I'm currently on 16 wickets and second place on 15, so I need to take some polls tomorrow.
I take it as in this is leading wicket taker within the club?
No, in the league I'm playing in.
Oh, right, okay. Presumably you don't know if your nearest person's going to be playing.
He'll be playing. He captains the other team, so this team. So we'll see. Big day for me tomorrow.
This is a massive day for you tomorrow. I'm going to be sat down in Dorset out with nieces and nephews riding bikes on the beach or around the beach and then drinking copious amounts of beer. You're going to be trying to become the leading wicket taker in the Lancashire.
No, in the Cheshire second team Premier
Saturday
Division.
League,
yeah.
Fifth 11 Division 6.
Yeah, good. It's a big moment for me.
I'll let you know. Mate, I absolutely wish you the best of luck.
I'll let you know if I do it.
Well, I'm pretty sure Instagram will find out, won't it?
Yeah, it will. There'll be some content tomorrow.
Oh, good. Well, I mean, if I can get any signal down in deepest, darkest Dorset, I might not see it until Monday.
All the D's. However, yes, guys, we've got a surprise for you next week. Stay tuned.